I take my t-shirt, and a few tips on getting it to be straight on the pallet. I take my shirt, and what I do is I'll move it all the way to the back. And what I'm trying to do is these shoulders here, I want them to hit the edge of this. And what I'm looking for is on the left side and on the right, I'm looking that the shoulder and the neckline is even and centered there. If it's a little bit off, I'll move it to the right or to the left. Once I get that centered, earlier I took a Sharpie and I drew a black line for where I want my neck to be, so that I know that it's going to print in the same spot each time correctly. So I want to take the shirt and move it back so the neckline is aligning with this. So on the left and the right side, I lift up and I pull the shirt back until the neckline is aligned with that. Then I smooth everything out. All the creases in the fabric, the pallet adhesive, you want to make this all clean so nothing moves around. Now that I'm good to go, I'm going to take the screen and you'll feel it, it'll lock into place. Once I have that down, sometimes I will do 2 passes to get a nice opaque all right, everything printed good. Now the next thing you want to do is, because of the tack, you want to get it off the pallet without the ink hitting each other. So I like to lift the neck up a little bit and then lift the back. So I'm trying to loosen everything up off the pallet. Once I have it loose, I will take the shirt over to the dryer, place it on there to cure. So I carefully take my t-shirt and I fold the sleeves in. You want to align here on the bed. Now this dryer heats up to 300 degrees and this ink has to be cured inside the dryer for 10 to 15 seconds. Once it goes through the dryer and it goes through the other side, it's 100% cured and ready to wash and wear. So once you drop the t-shirt on the conveyor belt, it takes a few seconds to go through. I have a box on the other side, and as you're printing, you can let your shirts or tote bags just drop into that. Once they come through the conveyor dryer and they reach the temperature of 300 degrees, they are 100% cured and ready to wear. Here's a close-up detail of the dryer. The t-shirt coming through fully cured. You can let them drop into the box and continue to print. All right, I finished printing my t-shirts, and this ink is designed specifically for textile printing, t-shirt, tote bags, but you can also print with paper. So if you want to work efficiently and smart, when you're done printing your t-shirt and you have everything set up, you can take your paper, place it onto the pallet, and also print your paper with the t-shirt ink. It works just as well. Just remember, this ink will always stay wet. It's not an air dry ink. So you can take your paper and also put it through the dryer. Now, if you're printing other substrates besides the t-shirt, you need to make sure and remember which direction your artwork is facing. So with the t-shirt, because the artwork is facing, and this is the top, I'm loading the shirt in this direction. Now for a tote bag, what I will do is I'll take my tote bag, and with the tote bag, I will keep my screen, and I'll lower the screen down and make sure that the artwork, so when I look, I want to make sure the artwork, the top and the bottom, falls in between where the top and bottom of the tote bag are. Once I have that, I'll make a line here for the bottom of my tote bag, and I'll just take the handles and hang them off the side. I smooth everything off, and I just lay this on here flat so I get it all smooth. Once I have everything smoothed out, I lower the screen. Depending on the fabric, some fabric, if it's canvas versus the t-shirt cotton, it will absorb ink differently, so you may have to do more than one pass. So this one, it's canvas. I'm gonna probably do 2, maybe 3 passes to really get the ink to go into the fabric. One, 2, I lift up, flood it back, and now I have my tote bag with the artwork printed on it. I didn't have to move the screen or adjust anything. I can repeat the process. I take my next tote bag. I have my alignment here for the bottom of the bag. So I align that. I make sure the handles come off. I flatten everything. I take the screen, put it back down. 1, 2. Lift up, flood the ink back. The canvas tote bags also, with the Plastisol ink, have to go through the dryer. The ink that we're using has to cure to the 300 degrees, but as soon as it goes through the dryer, you can let it drop into the box. They're 100% cure, and then you can pick them up later. So today I printed 3 substrates, all with the same screen and the same Plastisol Textile ink. I have my poster on paper. I printed 2 of the Textile tote bags on the canvas. And then I also have my t-shirt. The Plastisol ink holds a lot of detail. It is a lot easier to also print and control. Only difference is you need to make sure that you use the dryer to set everything. When the last person is done printing, let Philip, the teaching assistant, know. On the dryer, Philip will come over, and the on-off switch, this is the heat. You will turn the heat off. And then what you'll do is you'll let the belt, you'll let that run as the heater cools down. So the belt always has to be moving while the heat is cooling down. It takes about a half hour or 20 minutes for it to be cooled down enough that you can turn the conveyor dryer completely off.